I wake with my face pressed into frozen mud. My mouth is open, my tongue is numb. I taste blood, iron, and rot. Somewhere nearby, a man is screaming. It is not a dream. My fingers clawed at the ground, scraping against stones, roots, and something soft that moves away when I touch it. Rats, always rats. They do not fear us anymore. They know we are weaker than they are. My breath comes out in white bursts. Each one burns my chest. The cold feels alive, like hands squeezing my ribs tighter every second. My back screams when I try to push myself up. Something cracked yesterday, or the day before. It all blurs together. A shadow falls over me, boots heavy, leather soaked with filth, up. A voice growls. I do not move fast enough. The kick lands in my side. Sharp, deep, I gasp. Coughing mud and bile. The world tilts. My ears ring. I hear laughter, not joy, not humor, just noise from men who know they are safe today. I force myself upright because if I do not, the next kick might end me. This is my morning. This is how every day begins. I live in the year of our Lord 1348. Though the year means nothing to me except another season survived. I am a peasant bound to the land of a lord whose name I am not allowed to speak without lowering my eyes. We live in a village that barely exists on maps, pressed between a forest that steals children and a river that floods without mercy. I am not important. My life is not special. That is the point. I was born here, on soil already owned by another man. My mother died where I sleep now. My father broke his back in the fields and never stood straight again. I inherited his tools, his debts, and his place in the dirt. We wake before the sun because hunger does not wait. The bell rings, dull and cracked, carried on the cold air. It tells us when to wake, when to work, when to kneel, when to bleed. I stand with the others, swaying on feet wrapped in rags. Faces hollow, eyes sunken, no one speaks. Talking wastes strength. Strength keeps you alive. The overseer walks past us slowly, dragging a stick through the mud. He counts heads, not names, just bodies. One man is missing. We all know what that means. He is found later near the tree line. His hands are blue. His mouth is open like he tried to scream but could not afford the breath. The overseer shrugs. One less mouth to feed. The earth always collects what it is owed. We march to the fields. The ground is frozen in places, slick in others. Every step threatens to put me on my face. The smell hits before we arrive. Wet soil mixed with dung and decay. The land does not care that we are tired. It demands labor the way a fire demands wood. I grip the plow handle. My palms split open again. They never fully heal. Scabs tear. Blood mixes with dirt. It stings, then goes numb. The ox does not move. I pull, I shout, I strike its flank. Nothing. The overseer sees this. His eyes narrow. He does not ask why. He does not care that the animal is starving too. He strikes me instead. The rod cracks across my shoulders. Pain explodes behind my eyes. I bite my tongue to keep from crying out. Crying invites more blows. I lean into the plow again. My legs shake. My stomach cramps so hard I think I might vomit what little there is left inside me. Hours pass, or maybe minutes. Time does not behave normally when survival is the only measure. The sun climbs. Sweat freezes on my neck. My breath rasps. Every sound is louder than it should be. The creak of wood, the low groan of the ox, the wheeze of men trying not to collapse. I think of bread, not real bread, that is for feast days and funerals. I think of the thin brown loaf we share, stretched with bark and dusted with grain. I imagine chewing slowly, pretending it fills me. My vision blurs. A woman beside me stumbles. She is old, older than she looks. Her knees buckle and she goes down hard, face first into the mud. She does not get up. The overseer walks over. He nudges her with his boot. Once, twice, no response. He drags her to the side of the field like a sack of waste. Work continues. We do not stop. We cannot. By midday, my body feels hollow, like something has eaten me from the inside. The cold is replaced by a dull, burning ache everywhere at once. We are allowed a break. It is not kindness. It is maintenance. I sit on a rock and unwrap my meal. A scrap of bread, hard enough to cut my gums. A piece of onion, already turning soft. I chew slowly, counting bites, trying to make it last. A boy nearby coughs, deep, wet. Everyone inches away from him without looking. Coughing means sickness. Sickness means death. Death spreads. He is 12, maybe younger. He looks at me like he wants to ask something. I do not meet his eyes. Caring is dangerous. The bell rings again, back to work. The afternoon drags heavier than the plough. Clouds roll in. The wind sharpens. My hands barely close around the handle now. Every muscle screams. My thoughts slow. I remember my sister. She died last winter. She slipped on ice carrying water from the well. Hit her head. Lay there while we worked because no one heard her fall. By the time we found her, her skin was already stiff. We buried her without a marker. The ground was too hard to dig deep. I wonder if the rats found her. The sun dips low. The sky turns the color of bruises. Finally, the bell rings for the last time. We limp back to the village. Smoke curls from chimneys. The smell of thin stew hangs in the air. It makes my stomach twist painfully. At the well, a fight breaks out. Two men arguing over whose turn it is. Voices rise. Fists fly. The winner gets water. The loser bleeds into the dirt. No one intervenes. I fill my bucket carefully. Spilling means thirst. Thirst means weakness. Weakness gets you noticed. Inside the hut, the air is damp and sour. My mother once tried to keep it clean. After she died, it became a place to sleep and nothing more. I sit on the floor. My legs refuse to straighten again. I drink slowly. The water tastes of rust and rot, but it keeps me alive. A neighbor bursts in without knocking. No one knocks. The Lord's men are coming, he says. The room tightens. They come when they want something. We gather outside as torches appear at the edge of the village. Horses snort. Armor clink. The men are well fed. Their laughter floats over us like smoke. The Lord's steward steps forward. He reads from a parchment we cannot understand. Taxes, more grain, more labor, more sons for service. A man protests. Just one word. Please. The steward does not reply. A sword flashes. The man drops. His wife screams. A child clings to her skirts. Blood pools in the dirt, dark and steaming. This is the cost, the steward says calmly. pay it. They ride away, no one moves for a long time. We drag the body aside. We will bury him tomorrow, if the ground allows. Night falls, I lie down on straw that smells of mold and urine. My body shakes now that the work has stopped. Pain rushes in where exhaustion once held it back. I stare at the ceiling. I think about running, about disappearing into the forest. But I have seen what happens to those who try in the dark. Something scratches behind the wall. Rats, I curl into myself. I listen to the breathing of others. Too fast, too shallow, too many pauses. Sleep comes like a blow to the head. I dream of falling. I wake 2 bells again. This time they do not stop. The sound is wrong, urgent, panicked. Voices shout, feet run. Smoke fills the air. Fire, a hut, near the edge of the village, is burning. Flames claw up the thatch. People scream. Someone is trapped inside. We form a line to the well, passing buckets hand to hand. The heat bites my face. Sparks rain down. The roof collapses with a sound like thunder. The screaming stops. We keep throwing water until there is nothing left to save. Dawn breaks on blackened ruins and ash-covered faces. The day begins anyway. Work does not pause for grief. In the fields. My body finally betrays me. My legs lock. My vision tunnels. The world tilts sideways. I drop the plow handle and fall to my knees. The overseer notices immediately. He strides over, fury written across his face. I try to stand. I cannot. The rod comes down. Once, twice, 3 times. Something tears in my back. White pain floods me. I scream before I can stop myself. Silence follows. That is worse. The overseer drags me up by my collar. His breath smells of meat and ale. Lazy, he says. He orders 2 men to hold me. They drag me to the post. I know this place. Everyone does. My wrists are tied above my head. The rope bites into raw skin. My toes barely touch the ground. My shoulders burn. The first lash steals my breath. The second steals my voice. By the 5th, the world has narrowed to pain and light. I do not know how long it lasts. I only know that at some point, I stop feeling anything at all. When they cut me down, I hit the dirt hard. Someone spits near my head. I am left there. The sky moves. Clouds drift. Flies land on my back. I think I am dying. A hand grips my shoulder. It is the old woman from the fields. The one who did not fall. She presses something into my mouth. Water, maybe milk. I swallow weakly. Live, she whispers. Spite them. She helps me crawl back to the hut. For days, I drift in and out of fever. My back burns. Infection creeps in. I smell myself rotting. I expect to die, but I do not. When I finally stand again, I am not the same. Something inside me has hardened, or broken. The work continues, always. Weeks later, the sickness comes. People start coughing. Black swellings appear. Death walks through the village without knocking. Bodies pile up faster than we can bury them. The Lord's men stop coming. The overseer disappears for the first time. No one tells us what to do. The fields lie empty. I stand at the edge of the village and look toward the forest. This time I walk. Branches tear my skin. Thorns bite. My lungs burn. Fear follows me like a shadow, but no one stops me behind me. The village fades into smoke and silence. I do not know if I will live. I only know that for the first time, the day belongs to me. Survival took everything. My family, my youth, my faith in mercy. It left scars that will never fade, but it also left me breathing. If this story made you feel the cold in your bones and the hunger in your chest, remember that countless lives were lived this way, unseen and unheard. If you want to hear more voices from the past, more days stolen by survival, support this journey. Like this story, share it, subscribe.